Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Are you 100% sure? Okay, you say you're sure, but like, are you sure? Hey everybody, it's Molly with AllEars, and today I'm here with a brand new challenge. We've done it at Magic Kingdom, we've done it at Animal Kingdom, we've done it at Hollywood Studios, and now it's Epcot's turn. We are gonna do a FastPass Challenge at Epcot. How many fast passes can I get in just one day at the park? We're gonna find out. I'm gonna share some tips and tricks along the way. My goal is to get a fast pass for all of Epcot's fast pass attractions and then some. Can I do it? If my shirt's any indication, yes, I Canada. Thanks, Duke Kaboom. Are you excited? Are you ready? Let's get into the park. Hiya, Goof. Goofy has moved from the character spot to right in the beginning of the park, right as you get into Future World. He's kind of bopped around since he's moved, but he should be somewhere at the front of the park if you're looking for Goofy while you're here. Epcot has 11 different FastPass attractions, and they are divided up in tiers just like Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. In Tier 1, you have 4 attractions. You have Soarin, Test Track, Frozen Ever After, and Epcot Forever, the Fireworks Spectacular, which leaves in Tier 2 7 different attractions. You've got The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Turtle Talk with Crush, Living with the Land, Spaceship Earth, Mission Space, the Journey into Imagination with Figment, and the Pixar Disney Short Film Festival. So 11 different attractions. I'm going to try to get them all today, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to hit a few things more than once. Headed to my first set of fast passes, I booked The Seas with Nemo and Friends and Turtle Talk with Crush back to back, which is a great tip when you're coming to Epcot. If you've got little ones that are going to want to do both of those attractions, book them back to back and then go at the later portion of The Seas, so that way right when you get out, you'll be able to go do Turtle Talk with Crush without having to wait and fill in any gap time. So for example, my fast pass was 9:05 to 10:05 for The Seas, and then 10:05 to 11:05 for Turtle Talk. It's about 10 o'clock right now. So by the time I get done with The Seas, it'll be time to do Turtle Talk. Just got into the line for The Seas, and as a pro tip, tip number 1, you can actually show up a few minutes late if you are running behind. They'll usually give you about a 15-minute grace period at the attractions, unless it's like the really busiest times of the year. So I was like 5 minutes late because I got distracted looking at things. So here we are, getting into The Seas.
Check out the mini marlin!
The Seas is all fancy. Look at the new directory and everything they put up a few weeks ago. Looking sharp. I love The Seas with Nemo and Friends. I think it's an adorable attraction. However, I don't necessarily think it's the best choice for a fast pass. If you've got bigger kids, you're better off doing Mission Space along with Spaceship Earth, which is one I think everybody should do out of Tier 2. However, if you've got little kids and you're planning on doing The Seas with Nemo and Friends, go ahead and grab the fast pass for it, just because like Hollywood Studios, like Animal Kingdom, you've got to get through your initial 3 before you can start grabbing those fast passes one at a time and include Tier 1. So you have to do 2 things in Tier 2 before you can start getting Tier 1 attractions again. And if you're going to do Nemo anyway, you might as well get the fast pass for it. There is plenty to do in the Seas aquarium area. There's different activities, there's aquariums, there's fish, sharks, rays, dolphins, all different things you can look at if you're waiting for your Turtle Talk time. However, it's my Turtle Talk time right now, so I'm going to go ahead and go into fast pass number 2. I've never noticed these cool light fixtures as you head into Turtle Talk with Crush, and they kind of look like jellyfish, so it's a pretty fun little detail. When you enter Turtle Talk with Crush, you're welcome to let your kids sit up at the front so they can get close to Crush and talk to him, and then parents, you can sit in the back.
Do you see this little dude? Hi. What's your name?
Silas?
Silas. Hey, Silas, dude, do you know how to talk like a turtle?
No.
That's okay. Silas, I'm going to show you. Ready? Say, totally.
Totally.
Yeah. Now say, sweet.
Sweet.
Now put those words together and shout them out.
Totally sweet.
Yeah, dude. Look at Silas talking like a turtle.
Wrapped up Turtle Talk with Crush. I do think that show's really cute. The kids seem to like it, especially if they're Nemo fans. A pro tip is have your kid prepared with a good question to ask Crush for when he asks for questions. So like a good question would be, how long do turtles live? What do turtles eat? Something like that, so that way when it's your turn to ask questions, your kid can raise their hand really, really big, and then they can have a good question prepared. Turtle Talk with Crush is not actually one I'd recommend using a FastPass on, because I didn't get in any faster than anyone else who was just walking up. I was just guaranteed a spot because I had FastPass. So unless it's a really, really busy day, you're basically just waiting for the show in front of you to empty. If it says 10 minutes of a wait, that just means you're just waiting for the next show to empty. So talk to the cast members at the front, ask them how long you're going to be waiting. I ended up waiting like 10 minutes in there, which could have been time well spent looking at sharks or turtles or something. So not one I'd recommend using a FastPass on unless it's really busy. Initially, when I booked my day today, I booked an 11:15 for Soarin because I had a 10:05 to an 11:05 for Turtle Talk with Crush, and then the closest I could get was 11:15 to 12:15 for Soarin. But as soon as I tapped my band to go into Turtle Talk with Crush, I was able to fiddle-faddle around and move my Soarin FastPass up to 10:55, which is right meow. So now I'm moving over to Soarin for my first Tier 1 attraction. Today's going great because I got Section B, Row 1, which is unarguably the best seat on Soarin', and I didn't even ask for it. My mom always makes me ask when she comes, but I was planning on just going wherever they told me to. But what a great day.
Soarin' to tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Like, you're not scared, are you? Are you scared? No.
If you want the best seat on Soarin', you can be like my mom and ask the cast members to be in Section B, Row 1. And it is the best seat, so you should do it.
On behalf of our entire flight,
What'd you think?
thanks
Were you
for
a little
soaring
nervous
with
to
us.
sit?
You unfasten your
Seemed like
seatbelt.
you're
Soarin' is no doubt an incredible attraction and definitely a very good use of a FastPass. However, I do not think it's my #1 recommendation to you for your Tier 1 FastPass. Soarin' is typically a little bit easier to get, especially for a bigger party, than Test Track or Frozen Ever After, which are your other Tier 1 FastPasses you're going to be looking at. We're ignoring Epcot Forever for now, because if you get that right off the bat, you can't do anything the rest of the day because you have to wait till Epcot Forever, which is after the park closes. So Frozen Ever After and Test Track are a little bit harder to get than Soarin', so my recommendation would be to get one of those as your first Tier 1 and then get Soarin' as an additional one, unless you will literally cry if you don't have a Soarin' FastPass. After I tapped my band for Soarin', I looked at the FastPasses and I was able to snag one for Living with the Land at 11:15, which is perfect timing and perfect location because it's right across the pavilion, just a few steps away. Done with Living with the Land. I do enjoy that attraction, but again, wouldn't be my pick for a Tier 2. I think that it's an easy one to pick up, so if you do want to ride it, you can probably pick it up later, or like I said, it oftentimes has a very low wait time. It's a little bit of a busier day here. It's marathon weekend, so it's at 25 minutes, but a lot of times it'll be at like 10 minutes. It's also like a slow moving boat ride, so keep that in mind when you're planning. I think little kids like it because they get to see fish. There used to be tiny alligators in there, like caimans. I swear. Someone back me up on this in the comments. And I think that older folks really enjoy it, and it is interesting. Your teens who are looking for thrill rides, that's probably not going to be high on their list. As I got into line, I went ahead and grabbed one for Journey into Imagination with Figment. This is a really easy FastPass to get, one I don't necessarily recommend using because there's usually not a long line, but I am trying to get everything today, so that was the closest thing in time and proximity to where I was in the land pavilion. And I'm realizing that the hardest ones to get, not really that surprising, are going to be Test Track and Frozen Ever After. Both have popped up from time to time, but they're pretty far away from right now, and I'm trying to get as many as I can, so I don't want to book one for like a few hours from now. However, if I were you in the park and a test track popped up from 2 hours from right now, I would absolutely recommend booking it. So I'm just a crazy person who does this to myself for your entertainment. Also, when I was looking for the Figment Fast Pass, I went ahead and made a fake party of 4 with some of my friends and family on My Disney Experience to see what kind of attractions were popping up with a bigger party. And it was the same things. The only things that weren't popping up were Frozen Ever After, and at one point Mission Space, but if you fiddled with it, that showed up too. So just showing you how it can work with a bigger group as well.
Imagination is a blast!
At the exit of Journey into the Imagination with Figment, there's the ImagineWorks Play Labs, which kids do like to run around and do the different activities. And this is also now the home to a few meet and greets. Ralph and Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet are still here, but they are now joined by Joy from Inside Out, who was previously at the character spot, which is now closed. And yes, that does mean there's no more Sadness. She used to meet with Joy, and there's no more Baymax, who also used to meet in the character spot, which does make me feel very blue, and I'm not satisfied with this care, but what are you gonna do? Maybe they'll come back. Just one of my FastPass rules. If it's a must do, make sure to get a FastPass, and then you can always change it if there's not a long line when you get here. However, Journey into Imagination with Figment is really not one that's gonna ever have that long of a line. It said 20 minutes. I don't think it was more than 10, and it's usually a walk-on. So if you wanna ride it later, maybe do it as a secondary FastPass, but definitely not one that I would recommend as an initial grab. But what I did grab while I was waiting to board the attraction was I was able to get one for the Short Film Festival, which is right next door. And I was able to fiddle-faddle around with a fake party of 4 again, and everything popped up, including Frozen Ever After for a party of 4, when you just fiddle and faddle around. So that's one thing I get in the comments a lot, is that it's easier for me because I'm a single person, which is absolutely true, but I wanted to share that you can use these tips and tricks with bigger parties to success as well. The Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival is super cute. It's a 3D show with 3 different Disney Pixar shorts. But pro tip, I know you can't read this on the screen, but it says the standby entrance is 19 minutes. And that's because that's how long until the next show is. So just like Turtle Talk with Crush, you don't really need a fast pass for this. If it's 19 minutes, that just means you're waiting for the next show to start, and that's how long it starts. You're not actually waiting in a line for 19 minutes. You get it. But also in here now is a little certain someone that, since we got 19 minutes to kill, why not? So with the closing of Character Spot, they also closed that temporary character spot they had in Interventions for a while, and they've scattered those characters around the park, and Mickey is right here in the Imagination Pavilion. I chatted with the friendly character attendant, and he said that Mickey came right back when I first walked in, and he said I would be able to meet him before I had to go see the show, which is in about 18 minutes now. So if you come over here and you're going to see the show and it's not starting for a while, I recommend checking out the line to see Mr. Mickey Mouse. Hi, Mickey! So I got to meet Mickey, which is always a highlight, and I still have 12 minutes till the next show. So yeah, if you come up here and it's like a decent amount of time before the show is starting, and you can tell by the standby entrance, whatever the wait time is, that's actually how long it is till the next show. You can go meet Mickey and then go see the show after that. Before going into the show, a little thing came on with Pete Docter and Jennifer Lee, Chief Creative Officers for Disney and Pixar, and they were like welcoming you to the show and talking about Walt's history of animation. And I don't really remember that happening before, and I've definitely seen this before, so maybe I've been asleep, or that's new. I think it's new. Let me know if you've seen that happen before, but I really liked it, and it talked about how Walt did shorts and how they use different technology in shorts that they later use in animation and inspire the next generation of storytellers, and I like teared up because I'm a big baby who cries at everything. I think the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival is adorable. Definitely don't think you need to use a fast pass on it, but it's a really good attraction to kill some time, get out of heat, sit down for a little bit, and it's super, super cute. So definitely people clapped after each one, people were laughing. I think it's a really cute filler attraction. As I was in the theater waiting for the show to begin, I wanted to go ahead and get my next fast pass, and I was able to secure Test Track for right now, which leads me to my next tip. If there's an attraction you really want and that you're aiming for, and any time pops up, especially if it's one that's been like appearing and disappearing as you look at the app, like in this case Test Track or Frozen Ever After, when a decent time pops up, like one for 2 hours from now popped up, or in some cases any time pops up, get that, secure it at that time, and then go back into it. And when you look at the FastPass screen, you have the option to change the attraction. At the top where it says Test Track, it'll say change, or it'll say the time, and you can click change there. Click the time and change, and then fiddle faddle around with the different time blocks. And by doing that, I was able to change it from like 2 o'clock to 12:30. Walking up to Test Track, I can see it has a 65-minute wait and standby, and they even have a posted time for single rider, which says 20 minutes, just to give you an idea of what the park's at. I would still do single rider here if I was here by myself, and then I would save the Fast Pass for something else. But Test Track is obviously very popular, and it's a must-do for a lot of folks, so that's when I say this is a great use of a Tier 1 attraction. Hello. Yes.
All right. Perfect. Have fun.
Thank you. Since I'm in FastPass, I get to do the full design experience, which you don't get in single rider. So you and your group will put your band or your card up, select your language, and then design your car. You can split up if you want to, so you could have like kids and parents competing. You could tell them you want to design 2 and 2 or something, and they'll let you design the car in different groups. I want this big monster. I'm going with a solar drive because I feel like this giant car should be efficient. Oh wow, she's pretty right now, but we're gonna make it better. We're gonna paint this bad boy. I think it's gonna be hot pink. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, graphics? Yeah, we're putting some pixie dust all over that. Wow, that's pretty. I pick these. I mean, that thing is just nice. Oh, I still have 2 more minutes if I wanted to edit this, but I think it's a winner as is. There it is, the Molly Mobile. What a beauty. I just realized I don't have a hair tie, so this is going to go really well. Fun, the Molly Mobile got first here. My eyes were closed.
Displaying power test results.
My car was not very powerful.
Track performance testing complete.
Checked off Test Track, and I've got the hair to prove it. That is nice. So initially when I was in the Test Track queue, I booked myself a Mission Space because Mission Space is turning out to be one of the harder ones to get, along with Test Track, Frozen Ever After, and Spaceship Earth. And the reason for that, for Mission Space and Spaceship Earth, Test Track's so loud, is arguably those are the best of the Tier 2 choices. So they're in popular demand, even though they often don't have that long of a line. So I tried the tip I used previously, and I got like a 5:30 for Mission Space. And then I was able to change it up to 2:05, but then I went in and tried to change the attraction, and I was able to get Spaceship Earth at 1:45, which is in about 15 minutes. So I'm headed over to Spaceship Earth now, since I have a few minutes to go. Gotta get a selfie with the bubblegum wall, because they match my ears. Okay. It is so windy under Spaceship Earth, I had to take my ears off, but the timing actually worked out really well because generally speaking, you can go into a line 5 minutes before the time, and it's 1:39 right here. My Fast Pass is for 1:45, so in about 60 seconds, if I don't get blown away, I can ride Spaceship Earth. Okay, this is definitely a very good use of a tier 2 because it could have a 10-minute line, it could have an hour-long line. You never know. Especially now that they're changing Spaceship Earth. I talk all about it in my Epcot transformation video, which we'll link for you. People have a real nostalgia for this one, with good reason. So definitely get a tier 2 FastPass for Spaceship Earth. This one the whole family can enjoy, and it's awesome. Spaceship Earth took a little longer than normal because it did have a couple stops, but that is likely because they were loading a wheelchair party, which if you're on an Omnimover style attraction like Spaceship Earth, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, Peter Pan's Flight, Haunted Mansion, the cars are consistently moving, but they do sometimes slow them down or stop them to help a guest who may need a little extra time load onto the vehicle. So if you're on one of those rides and they stop, I say this every time, don't freak out. That's probably what happened. But while I was in the queue, I was able to snag a 2 o'clock FastPass for Mission Space, which is one of the ones I've been hounding, so I'm going to go and do that. I also put a poll up on Instagram for where I should eat lunch, because there's so many good places in Epcot. I need a little help from our Instagram followers, and also I wanted to eat after Mission Space, obviously. This is exactly what I was talking about with Mission Space before. It's a really hard FastPass to snag sometimes, but it doesn't usually have a long line. For example, Earth is only 10 minutes, which is the green, less intense mission, and Mars is 15 minutes, which is the more intense mission. So when you're booking your FastPasses initially, if Mission Space is something you want to ride, go ahead and grab it along with Spaceship Earth. But if you don't get it, don't panic. It's not like Test Track or Frozen Ever After, where if you don't get it, you're going to end up waiting in a long line, because more likely than not, this line's not going to be very long. There's just not a lot of FastPass selection at Epcot, and there's not a lot of great choices in Tier 2. So grab Mission Space if you really want to ride it. However, you may be better off doing something like Living with the Land, which may have a little bit more variability in it. It's just kind of the luck of the draw. But the biggest thing about these parks that have the tiered attractions is you have to get 3 in order to get 4. So just pick Spaceship Earth would be my recommendation, and then one other one you definitely want to do, and then you can start getting more. But if Mission Space is on your list, might as well grab the FastPass for it if it's available. If it's not, don't panic. I will be doing green, the less intense mission. If I come back to this, then I'll do orange, but I'm not an orange kind of gal. Thank you. The last time I did Mission Space Orange was the Riding All the Thrill Rides in Disney World Challenge, which we'll link for you. It was a lot of fun, but I literally had to buy ginger ale in a gift shop because I'm too old to ride orange, I guess. That's the moral of the story. It's definitely very intense. It spins you around. It simulates zero gravity or G-forces or something about space that I don't understand. The technology's amazing. They had astronauts from NASA come ride this, and they said it was the closest thing to going in space as actually going in space. But still, I'm not an astronaut, so I'm going green. They give so many warnings on this attraction. That's the scariest part. It's because they keep being like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Are you 100% sure? Okay, you say you're sure, but like, are you sure?
Store personal items in the compartment in front of you. Then reach up and pull down on the restraint.
After you get settled, check out your butt.
Bark bags.
Computer override initiated. Engineer, activate flight camera. Now. Initiated. Fighting. Now. Wings extended.
We've lost autopilot.
Commander, activate manual control. Now.
This is going to come as a shock to most of you, but I haven't even had coffee yet today. I know, I'm shocked too. I was very apprehensive about Mission Space, so I didn't know when I was going to be riding that, so I wanted to hold off on consuming anything before I rode it. But I finally got my coffee, and yes, that is a reusable straw. Thank you for noticing. Santa heard me complaining about it in all of my videos about paper straws, so he put reusable ones in my stocking. So thanks, Santa. Delicious. And saving the planet. This reusable straw is actually really legit. It expands, and then it comes in a little case, so you can put it in your bag without it getting everywhere if you don't have time to wash it right now. And then it also comes with a little brush thing that you can wash that you can use when you are washing it. That expands as well, so you can then stick it through the straw and get all the coffee or whatever out. And then it comes in a case. Here's the lid for it, so it sits compactly in your bag. I'll put it together, and then it doesn't get all over everything. So good job, Santa. So there it is. It matches my nails. It's all conveniently in this little thing, and then I can just pop it into my bag and not worry about it getting all sticky or anything, and I didn't have to drink through a horrible paper straw. So win-win. So Mission Space really wasn't that bad if you do green. I'd say if you can handle like Star Tours, you can probably handle Mission Space green because it doesn't spin, so it doesn't do the G-forces thing. Still not my favorite attraction because I don't love simulators, but done with Mission Space. I did snag a Soarin for $3.15, which is in about half an hour, but what a roller coaster I just went on. As I was enjoying my coffee, I was trying to fiddle-faddle around, see if I could get something a little sooner, and Frozen Ever After actually popped up, so I had to get it. Obviously, it was for $6.15 though, which is in like 3 hours. So I got it, tried to fiddle-faddle around, see if I could get it closer to now. I couldn't. So then I changed it back to Soarin. Luckily, after a few clicks, I was able to get Soarin at $3.15, which is in about 8 minutes from right now. So by the time I get up there, it'll be time to go. So that gives me hope though, because I haven't seen Frozen Ever After in a little bit. So that gives me hope that I'll still get it before the end of the day. I still got section B on this second time, but I'm in the third row, which means I'll be the lowest row, and I could see some shoes in front of me, but hey, I'll still take B. B is the best section because you're in the middle. If you want to learn more about Soarin', we actually have this very interesting video with fast facts about Soarin', including a model of how it works, like a diagram. It's incredibly simple and genius from the Imagineers, so we'll link that for you. Rode Soarin' again. What an amazing attraction. Definitely a Disney must-do, but like I said, for me, it's not the first one you should get on your FastPass booking because Soarin' has continuously popped up time and time again, even for a party bigger than just one, whereas Test Track and Frozen Ever After are not so much popping up every time. But Frozen Ever After did pop up again, which gives me hope that I'm going to be able to get it later today. However, the one I saw was way too late from now, so I went with Spaceship Earth because that has been one of the harder secondary fast passes to get, and now we're repeating things, so I'm going to do as many as I can, plus I need a fuel rod, and the closest fuel rod station to me right now is at the camera center, which is right next to Spaceship Earth. Another great tip, when you're in the Soarin' line, the cell service is very terrible, so I turn off the Wi-Fi, which makes it work a little bit easier. And in general, if when you're in the app, you can turn off the Wi-Fi and use your data, if you're able, you're probably gonna have more success because there's so many people trying to use Disney's Wi-Fi, it can make the app run a little bit slower. So if you're able to use your data while you're using the app, it'll probably go faster for you. As I said earlier, Goofy is now hanging out in Future World. We saw Mickey in the Imagination Pavilion, and Minnie is in the gazebo as you enter World Showcase. So that's where your character spot friends have gone. The fuel rod machine is actually in Gateway Gifts, which is if you're walking into the park to the left of Spaceship Earth, the left side of it. And I'm gonna get me a fuel rod real quick before I head into the queue for Spaceship Earth. Fuel rod, if you're unfamiliar, is $30 for a rechargeable battery. You can charge it at home. It's yours to keep, or throughout the parks and the resorts, they have these machines where you can swap it out for a freshly charged one as many times as you want, so you always know you've got a power source. And when you buy it initially for the $30, you also get cords.
I love your vlog.
Oh, thank you!
Riding the Golden Spike.
I was able to book the Seas at the exact time it was, so 4:10, it's now 4:20. But I'm just gonna see if I do it on the kiosk, if anything different pops up. Do the Seas. Lots of options, but obviously, of course, I am looking for Frozen Ever After, which I'm not seeing. Try it one more time. Otherwise, I'll go ride the seas and then try again. Oh. Oh my goodness. You guys see this? 425. It's 424. Yes, please. Confirm. Wow. What an amazing feat. There is no way for me to know for sure if I was able to pick that up because it was at the kiosk or because I was just doing it at the right time. I hadn't seen Frozen Ever After earlier than like 6 or so on my phone for a while, so maybe the kiosks do have a little something extra, or maybe I just got lucky in that it was a minute beforehand and they had that inventory. I don't really know the science behind that, but I do know the kiosks have given me some good luck before, not only now, but if you remember from the Hollywood Studios FastPass Challenge, I wasn't able to pull Fantasmic on my phone because they said FastPasses were closed for the day, but then I went to the kiosk and was able to get it. So that's a good tip. You could try it out. Let me know your experience in the comments of if the kiosks are ever more efficient for you than your phone. I have made it all the way to Arendelle. I mean Norway, an actual country. And I'm very excited to ride Frozen Ever After. As you could tell, this was the hardest FastPass to get today. This in Test Track. So if this is on your list at Epcot, which it should be, I highly recommend booking this as your first choice for a Tier 1. It's a 55-minute wait right now, which really isn't that bad for Frozen. Sorry, it's dark, but another good way to get on Frozen Ever After if you cannot get a FastPass is to come first thing in the morning. Most of World Showcase opens up at 11 o'clock, but they actually open up Frozen Ever After at 9 with the rest of the park, and they don't usually offer FastPasses that early, so they're usually only taking standby passengers. So if you really want to ride Frozen and you cannot get a FastPass, come first thing in the morning and head straight to Norway. They also open up the bakery at Léal in France that early, so you could come ride Frozen and then go get a delicious French pastry and a cappuccino for breakfast, and that sounds like a very nice morning. Frozen Ever After, what a delightful attraction. Even if you've got older kids or you're an adult, everyone likes Frozen, everyone likes the song Let It Go, whether or not you're going to admit it, so you're going to like this attraction. That's definitely my suggestion for your Tier 1 pick when you're initially booking your FastPasses, because it's definitely harder to get, even harder than Test Track, and definitely harder than Soarin. Speaking of Soarin, I initially got the Seas when I got out of Frozen, or when I was in the line for Frozen, but then I thought, I want to ride Soarin again. So I decided to use my perseverance, and I got it at like 6 o'clock, and then I fiddle-faddled and I got it at 5:30, and then I kept doing it, and I finally got it at 5:20, which is in like 10 minutes, which means I can ride it in 5 minutes.
Hello and welcome to Soarin.
Just got off Soarin', third time's a charm. I was able to get a FastPass for the Seas coming up, and nothing for Test Track or Frozen Ever After was popping up again, but I'm gonna go back to the FastPass kiosk right here and see if something else pops up again, so I can continue with this theory of the kiosk giving you different options than the phone. I just looked on my phone and there was not anything available in Tier 1 except for Epcot Forever if I fiddled around, and there were also not anything available for like Mission Space, so I'm gonna see what I can get on the kiosk. So I could do new times, Epcot Forever. Oh, look at that, Soarin', Test Track, Figment wasn't available on my phone, neither was Mission Space, so I may be onto something here, friends. I don't know if this is just because it's basically the same as refreshing. Let's see if I do it again on the phone and it just happens to be different, or if it's actually pulling from different stuff. See, now this time Test Track's gone, Mission Space is gone, so I don't know. It may be that it's just a game of refreshing no matter what device you're on, but if you're having an issue getting something on your phone, definitely come see if you can come get it on the kiosk. I'm going to keep looking and see if I can get Test Track. So Test Track's now going away. We'll start over. Epcot Forever. Soarin'. Still no test track, which I am going to try and get at some point again. But just goes to show, different things come up when you do different techniques. So this may be a good one. But I'm going to go ride the seas for now, and then I'm going to come back to this kiosk. Also, for the record, there's basically no wait for much of anything in Future World. Weirdly, the evening time is what's up. Maybe everyone's home sleeping because they're going to run a 10K tomorrow. Now, not this gal, though.
Nemo! Where are you, Nemo?
Who's Nemo?
He's my son. You know that.
I do.
We better make
Hopped off the seas with Nemo and friends. Such a cute attraction. And I was able to make one while I was in line for Mission Space in about 40 minutes because I figure I should do it again and go on the other side, so then I really have done everything that you can do with a FastPass. I'm going to go back to the kiosk as well as keep refreshing on my phone to see if I can get it closer than 40 minutes from now because I still haven't eaten and I'm very hungry, and I'm definitely not eating before I do Mission Space Orange. Using just the app, not the kiosk, I was able to move Mission Space up to 6:15, which is in about 15 minutes, which means I can really ride it in 10 minutes. So as long as I walk kind of slowly, that's a pretty good timing. Then I can check off Mission Space Orange. Then I could eat, which would be really, really great. Hello. Yes, I do.
More intense mission of ours.
Thank you. That's one time they told me it's more intense. Also, here's all the warning signs. Also, here's the warning on the ticket. So, that's like 4 times so far, and I just walked up. Oh, plus the one outside. That's 5. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Orange. More intense. Again. That's 6. Are you 100% sure?
It is intense. And if you would like to opt out, just ask any member of the ISTC crew for directions.
Okay, you say you're sure, but like, are you sure? There were like 3 more warnings in the video, so now we're up to 9 times they've told you to get off this attraction if you don't like enclosed spaces, spinning, or prone to motion sickness, so yeah.
You have selected
Make that 10.
More intense training. You may exit the flight training area now.
Here's number 11, and a cast member just came by and asked if we were all ready, and if you make a joke like that you're not, they will like make sure you're really ready. If you say no, they will direct you somewhere else, so make sure you're really ready.
Engineer, when it's bedtime, you will activate hypersleep. You will also... Now remember,
Mission Space is the only attraction that comes with FastPass.
your assignments.
But they're all out.
Restoration
Very
and manual
nervous.
control. You will activate hypersleep and extend the wings.
Breaker 19. This is a space shuttle. Over. Launch. Missiles. Space words. Pluto. Neptune. Uranus. Jupiter. Space words. Milky Way. Constellations. Stars. Moon. Mars.
Engineer, extend wings for gliding. Now. Wings extended. Good work, team. You made it to the landing site.
Okay, heads back, releasing restraints. Now push the restraints
That was a
up.
horrible
Be sure to gather all your belongings.
That ride is no joke. I'm very glad I haven't eaten today because I was getting a little queasy and they were out of barf bags. If you think you want to ride Mission Space Orange because you're like, simulators don't bother me, I highly recommend riding green first. Green's like a normal simulator. If you're totally cool, not even an ounce of nausea with green, then try orange out, but it is no joke. It is the most nauseating attraction. It's very, very cool, and it really does feel like there's zero gravity and there's forces, and when you take off, like, you can't pick your arms up because of the force on you and stuff. But wow, that thing is a doozy. After I went through the queue, I was able to get a FastPass for Soarin' in about an hour, but I wasn't sure how I was going to feel after Mission Space. So I kind of fiddle-faddled back and forth a little bit, and I got Epcot Forever, which was appearing and disappearing, mostly disappearing, and that's the last one I need to get. But that's not till 8:30, which is in like an hour and a half. So I am going to see what else I can get. I'd love to do Test Track one more time. Not right this second, though, because I really will throw up. Since I have a moment, I looked on the app and I fiddle-faddled back and forth, and there was nothing worth risking the Epcot Forever. There was a Soarin for like $7.55, but there wasn't a Test Track or, not shocking, a Frozen. But Mouse Gear has closed, part of the Epcot transformation, and they've set up this temporary Mouse Gear in the old Interventions where Colortopia used to be. It's got a very Disney Store vibe, in my opinion. Doesn't have a lot of the fun gimmickiness of Mouse Gear. But there's a fair amount of merchandise. There's a wall for headgear, so your ears and hats. They've got a wall over there of plushes. They've got the whole 2020 line, toys. I like this section called Cafe, which has got mugs and such. They've also got Starbucks stuff, because right now there's a temporary Starbucks location near World Showcase's entrance as you're headed towards Canada. Jackpot. I'm going to get a little something from my tum-tum, thanks to Mission Space, and because I'm at a merchandise shop, I can get a discount on this with my annual pass. Dang. Mission Space Orange, man. It's intense. But I did it, and it is a pretty cool experience. The technology is pretty amazing. So if you can handle it, definitely recommend doing it at least once, but not after eating. Checked yet again in the app to see if I could get something else before Epcot Forever. At this point, I don't know if I want to risk losing it, unless it's for Test Track again, or I will be shocked Frozen Ever After again. But I am going to go check the FastPass kiosk again just to keep seeing how that pans out. I also wanted to explain, if you want to know where to find the FastPass kiosks, just go in the My Disney Experience app. Down at the bottom, you'll see a search, like a magnifying glass. Click that, type in kiosk or FastPass. It'll say FastPass kiosks in the search. Click on it, and then click Find on Map, and you can zoom into whatever park you're at, and it'll show you where the FastPass kiosks are. That's also how you can find the fuel rod rechargers. So there you go. In case you want to use the FastPass kiosks, that's how to find them. So Mission Space, Seas, Spaceship Earth, Turtle Talk, looks like the same things are showing up, but I'm gonna refresh it a few times just to see. So I fiddle-faddled around quite a bit on my phone and the kiosk, and I couldn't get anything new or exciting to come up. It was either gonna be like ride Soarin for a fourth time, or ride the Seas for a third time, or go back to Mission Space, which is obviously not happening. So I decided instead, I'm gonna finally eat, which sounds amazing, and a couple people suggested I go eat in Germany, which sounds really delicious, and along the way, maybe I'll do something fun. Maybe I'll pop in somewhere. It's not a FastPass attraction, but maybe I'll pop in and do something else as I make my way over to Germany. Who's to say? Things could get crazy. I'm going to keep looking, though, for Test Track and for Frozen Ever After, just on the off chance I can get one of those before the 8:30 time for Epcot Forever. Otherwise, that's in about an hour. I did just double check the Instagram poll results for food, and there were a couple front runners. Germany was definitely in the mix. Also, a lot of people said fish and chips, which I ate, and they are delicious in the A to Z snack video, which we can link for you. A bunch of people said the France Pavilion, which is my all-time favorite quick service in Walt Disney World. I ate there during the Doing Everything in Epcot in One Day video, which we'll link for you. And a couple people said Mexico, which I just did in the Transportation Challenge video. So, because of that, the other one that stood out to me was Germany, which I haven't eaten yet in a video, and they have some really good, delicious yummies that you may not know about. So that's why we're going to head to Germany. But on my way to Germany, something has caught my eye, and it's that there's only a 10-minute line to meet Anna and Elsa at the Royal Sommerhaus in the Norway Pavilion, and they're in their Frozen 2 costumes, which is very exciting. So we're going to go see, hello, we're going to go see Anna and Elsa on our way to get some din-din. I don't know about you, but I saw Frozen 2 in the theaters, and I cried like a little baby. It was a delight. I absolutely loved it. Let me know what your thoughts were in the comments. But yeah, I loved it. Have the soundtrack, played it on repeat. My dog's real sick of Into the Unknown. Hi, Elsa. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Took a little bit longer than 10 minutes. When it had hit 10 minutes in the queue and it was still not anywhere near me being at the front, I looked at the app and it had actually shot up to like 25 minutes. So I don't think it took actually 25 minutes, but it seems like everybody saw it was 10 minutes and jumped in line. I'd say it took more like somewhere in between 15 to 20, which still isn't bad to meet on an Elsa. But now I'm headed over to Germany to get my delicious dinner, and the fast pass for Epcot Forever is between 8:30 and 8:55. You can show up anytime in between there. The show starts at 9 o'clock tonight, and it's just a big open area in between the two tower stores, which are the two stores right when you walk into World Showcase, where you could go left to go to Mexico or right to go to Canada. It's those two stores that are right there in the middle. That's where the Epcot Forever fast pass is. It doesn't really matter what time you get there because the majority of the show is up in the air. So as long as you can see up, it's not like you need to get there super early to get a front row seat. I am headed back to the Summerfest, which is the quick service in the Germany pavilion. And it's got a small but very mighty menu. Take a look. You can get a delicious bratwurst. You can get the noodle gratin, which is what I'm going to get, and it counts as a snack, and you're going to be like, what? You can also get potato salad. They've got some good desserts, and of course, some fabulous beers. Here it is, my noodle gratin. It's basically like baked mac and cheese with like just oodles of delicious cheese and noodles, and it's a pretty big slab for $4.49 or a snack credit, guys. This is an amazing snack credit. Look at that. Look how yummy. It is so good. Oh, it's so cheesy. Adults and kids alike will enjoy this one. They do a ham version during the festival sometimes, but this is a just cheese version. Oh. Such a good snack credit. This could easily be a really light lunch or dinner. Like if you have a big dining reservation for one of the other meals, you can come get this as a snack credit and use it as a holdover, as a small meal. Maybe couple it, share a bratwurst with somebody, but it is so good. I very much enjoy this. So thank you to everyone who sent me to Germany for something to eat for dinner. I've got about 10 minutes till I have to be in the FastPass section for Epcot Forever, so I'm actually going to veer into the Epcot experience and watch that for a few minutes. I absolutely love this show. It's like a diagram of a model of Epcot, and they project things on it to show you what's coming as Epcot undergoes this crazy transformation. I did a whole video about the Epcot transformation, what's closing, what's coming, what's getting refurbished, all that good info you need to know.
And now, let's go over to Epcot's World Showcase, where we bring together cultures and ideas from around the globe. Some spectacular new films are coming. Let's take a peek at one of them.
I just think the Epcot experience is so cool, the way they make the model change, and they'll highlight one area, like they'll highlight the UK part or the France part, depending on what they're talking about. I did take my mom there, and I explained all the Epcot transformation stuff to her, and she watched my video beforehand, because like she's my mom, duh. But she did say having a knowledge of what is changing at Epcot makes that a much better experience, and if you had no idea of all the changes coming to Epcot, you may be a little confused. So definitely, if you plan on going to the Epcot experience, which I highly recommend watching our video first explaining all the changes coming. So I know this is where I'm supposed to go for the Fast Pass because there's some very happy cast members with a light stick, and somebody will have a phone that can get me in. Thank you. For reference, I am close to the port of entry shop, which is the shop on the right-hand side if you're looking at the Epcot Lagoon. And see, it's this big, huge open space where you're going to find tons of room to stand and watch the show. The best bet is to not have these things in front of you, but other than that, you're going to be able to see it. And like I said, most of it's in the sky, so you don't need to be like right up against the rails. But honestly, I could have probably found a better spot out there. So keep that in mind. I could leave, I guess. You're not required to stay here. At the end of the day, when it comes to Epcot's FastPass system, after playing around with it all day, my recommendation for Tier 1 is definitely to get Frozen Ever After if that's something that your group is interested in. Get that one first. If there's no interest in Frozen Ever After, then definitely get Test Track. But as you saw, Soarin is pretty easy and it popped up time and time again. So unless that's your diehard #1 favorite attraction, I would definitely go for Frozen Ever After or Test Track in Tier 1. As far as Tier 2 goes, I think Spaceship Earth is an excellent use of a Tier 2 FastPass. The line can vary from 15 minutes all the way up to an hour, so you want to guarantee you can ride Spaceship Earth. I would get Spaceship Earth as well. And then I would pick which of the other ones that you think you want to ride. Living with the Land can have a varied wait time, so if that's on your list, maybe get that one. Also Mission Space, hard FastPass to get, but didn't have that long a line. But if you want to ride it, maybe lock that one in with a FastPass. Same thing with the Seas. Basically, the second choice for Tier 2 should be whichever of those attractions you definitely want to do. But so that way you can use all three and then unlock number 4, which you can go back to grabbing from Tier 1 or Tier 2. Well, friends, that is a wrap on the Epcot FastPass Challenge. I was able to get a FastPass for all 11 FastPass attractions and then some 16 in total. I also met 3 different characters, had a delicious dinner, and got to enjoy the Epcot experience. It was a very fun day here at Epcot. But as always, this is not how I recommend viewing the parks. I definitely want you to slow down and enjoy some of Epcot's delicious food and drinks and all of their amazing entertainment as well. But hopefully this video can help you maximize FastPass with those tips and tricks. What challenge do you want to see next? What video do you want to see next? Definitely let me know in the comments. And in the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net. And until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been so magical. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.